My name is Muna and I go to 2IB. If you're starting IB chemistry this year, whether SL or HL, this video is for you. I'm breaking down the key differences, why it's challenging, how to study smarter, the best resources. Let's get into it. So first, what's the difference between SL and HL? SL covers 11 core topics like bonding, energetics, and HL does that plus 5 more topics with extra depth. HL has 240 hours, while SL is 150 hours. HL goes further into things like equilibrium, lattice enthalpy. In HL, you have to do a lot of calculations, but they're quite easy. They're like multiplying, division, and we always use a calculator, so you won't struggle as much. But then if you're struggling with the graphs, you can just practice at home. There's not much complex math so far. Like, I'm into IB and I haven't experienced any complex math in chemistry. IB chemistry is not just about memory. It's about memory, math, and logic. You need to know the content, understand it, then apply it. In paper 2 especially, we have so many subjects in DP1 and DP2 that you can't just memorize the whole curriculum. You have to really understand it and you have to practice a lot. Paper 1, you can eliminate the 2 that don't make sense because they're multiple choice questions. But in paper 2, you have to say specific things to get points. And you have to know what to write in those places. So you have to really practice. Plus time is pressure in exams. Some questions are multiple steps. You got to know how to use your calculator fast. And let's not forget about lab work. IA planning and error analysis can take a while if you're not organized. But don't worry, the right strategy is doable. How to stay on top of IB Chem. Summarize after each topic. Use short notes or mind maps. Practice by topic. Do past paper questions right after finishing a chapter. Space repetition. Tools like Quizlet will help you remember definitions, trends, and reactions. Master the data booklet. We use it in every single exam, so if you master it, it'll be easy for you to find what you need and give you some more time. Don't skip problem solving. Equations and units matter a lot. Practice until you're fast and accurate. Also, from my own experience, I find going through the book, especially, there's like a lot of practice questions. They're in red. If you do those questions, you'll be prepared for the exam. They're literally the same. And like just going through the book again and again and going to past papers and seeing how that questions are answered and just doing it until I'm tired, and watching videos helps a lot. Making a plan is best for staying on top of IB Chem. If you study 3 or 4 hours a week for the just revising, it really would do you a solid good, because towards the end you're going to have the end of terms and all those topics will come together. So it's just, you just study and study. If you have if you're stuck in a problem, it's best to go back to it and do it until you understand, because it might come up on the test. From my own experience, I found Revision Village really helpful. You can go through multiple questions and paper 2 style questions and go through them, and some of them are really identical to the ones you get in the exams. Save My Exam is another good source. It shortens down what the book says and it helps you actually to understand, because it summarizes in a way and it gives you some examples. You can also find some questions on there too. Another one that's good is Revision Dojo. On this website, you can interact with, I think it's an AI. You can interact with it and then you can grade your answers. You can grade your IAs. It can literally grade even your EE, for example. It helps you to formulate answers. It helps you to understand. There's some questions on there too. What's your name?
My name is Sophia, and I am an IB chemistry teacher here at Nestle. So many students ask what is the difference between HL and SL chemistry. And I would say that the main difference is that HL chemistry goes much deeper into details of each topic. So that means that HL students, they get a broader understanding of chemistry and each of the topics in the subject. However, there is a significant difference between the content and the workload in HL and SL chemistry. So if you choose HL chemistry, you must be willing to put in the work that it requires. This really depends on the university, the country, and the program that you want to study at. So I can't really answer that question precisely. However, I would assume that most programs that are about medicine, pharmaceuticals, chemistry, biochemistry probably require HL chemistry, but not all. So again, just check the university and the program that you want to study and see if they require HL chemistry. What I tell my students is use the plan and the presentation that I post. Prepare for class by reading through the presentation so you know exactly what you are going to be learning that class. And also do lots and lots of tasks. Tasks are usually what helps students understand what they don't understand and what they need to work more on. And also, I've noticed that students who do well in chemistry, they take systematic and really well-written notes, and they also make sure that they do not move on from a task before they actually understand it. Don't make the mistake of looking at the solutions and just moving on without really understanding the answer. So one of the most common mistakes is that students underestimate the workload. Many high-achieving students, they are used to getting high grades without putting in that much work before beginning the IB, but that is no longer the case in the IB. I urge all of my students to work hard from the beginning. Do not fall behind. And the reason for that, or in chemistry at least, in chemistry all topics are related. So that means that when we move on to next topics, they will be related to the previous topics. So if you understand these previous topics, that will significantly help your understanding in the next topics. And one other common mistake that I see some students make is that they tend to get a little bit lazy when they take notes and when they do tasks. The thing is that on IB exams and on tests, you need to write answers precisely and do calculations properly in order to get marks. So this is something that students should practice, and that's why I urge them to actually write things properly, even though they are only practicing. So this is a difficult question to answer, but I think I'm going to say acid and base chemistry, and the reason for that is because this is a topic where a lot of previous topics start to make sense for students because it's related to so many other topics as well. But more importantly, it's a topic where we get to be quite practical. So we are more practical in this topic than we are in other topics, which is a lot of fun.